As we move across the threads of fate, we find Jebediah, Leah, and Scald as they begin to develop the first signs of becoming a party, as long as they follow orders. And for some, freedom is a newfound luxury of this chaotic situation. This week on WeTogether, a dinner with a free bear. You guys are ready?
Yes.
So I'm going to set the scene. The safe house, the place that you guys have been laying low for the last odd some hours. It's been maybe like 12 to 18 hours since all of the craziness had gone down. As you guys are all sleeping in your bunks in the bunker downstairs through the trap door that leads to the basement, there is a stillness in the room. The morning kind of welcomes the silence, as I'm going to need each of you to roll initiative.
And for fun, I'm going to say my
18.
dice that promised to be my friend today with a nat 20 was the orange sparkly dice. And now I'm going
Again?
to roll. Yeah, man. I'm going to roll for my initial.
Damn.
17.
17?
Nat 20.
How the fuck did I get last on an 18?
Well, you didn't. I got an 8.
No, well, look, I was discounting you because you always roll shitty initiatives. How the fuck did I get on an 18? I'm like, I'm first.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Nope. So Leah wakes up first, bright and early, almost like a plant, expecting the sun to provide it some nutrients. As soon as dawn hits, Leah's clock just boop, boop.
That's so true. You know how like certain plants, when it's dark out or when it's the morning, they're all like tight or they're not like in bloom. It's like that. She curls up into a ball. So when she wakes up, she's like uncurling her arms. She's like throwing the blanket off. And it is exactly like
Like
you
a
said.
bat when you wake
A
up.
little Leah yawn. Can we get a little Lee without Discord? Okay, Discord ate it. And I'm
Yo,
sure,
that was so creepy.
What did it sound like?
it sounded like this.
It was like,
You know what a turtle sounds like? When it humps
Yawn.
a cue? You know what a turtle sounds like when it's humping something? That's what it sounded like. Great start, guys. We're already talking about turtle fucking. All right. So, Leah, why don't you walk us through quickly, concisely? Don't take too long with it. But Leah's morning ritual. Everyone else is still dead asleep. What's Leah doing in the morning?
So definitely first thing she does is looks for Bud. Make sure that he's around, alive, and in good shape.
Oh, Bud's fine, around and alive, but you do know that like he's also a plant. So even though the sunlight is artificial and weak here on the block, maybe a good idea to get him some.
Nice. So he looks a little like peaked, if you will. Kind of like a little dark around the circles under the eyes in my brain.
This cactus, by the way, this succulent plant, by the way, for the people listening who think that might be talking about a person. No, we're talking about a plant.
I thought you were talking about a different plant when you said bud.
Oh.
I swear that's all my mind's on lately.
Leah is now addicted. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. So you take Bud upstairs to get some sunlight, you said?
That's a great idea, but I thought about it, and especially lately, Leah's been feeling like it's really important to lay low and to be like kind of secretive, you know? So I would rather like revitalize him myself because that way he doesn't need to go out and be seen by anyone.
Oh, there are windows upstairs, but okay. That's fine. If you want to stay in the basement, that's fine. But just remember, you're in a safe house. That the upstairs is just a very pretty nicely furnished apartment with a window that you know is there because Squald was staring out of it menacingly not 8 hours ago.
Right. I think it's probably a lot of unneeded anxiety and panic around the new information, and also just like the lack of self agency at this time. She doesn't really like want to be away from the pack. She's the type of, like, you know how some people at a sleepover, they'll start pouring themselves a coffee, they'll go find a bathrobe, and then other people are just gonna lay in their sleeping bag awake until their friend who like owns the house wakes up so that they can start doing stuff. It's kind of like that.
All right, so that's what you're doing, is waiting for others to wait.
So she's like sitting cross-legged on the bed with Bud, and she's using her revitalizing magic to boost him up a little bit.
What revitalizing magic?
So I will read you the description. So basically, it's like this green, nurturing light that starts glowing from Leah's hands as the magical energy soaks into the plant, and the leaves start to unfurl a little bit, perk up a little bit, and just straighten, strengthen. So it like infuses it.
Hold on, babe. I just don't. What spell are you using to do that?
Revitalize plant.
Oh, so you're using a level 1 spell slot?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What a plant. Like this plant's lucky to have an owner like you. Our succulents in real life get ignored for months, but this one, you're getting revitalized, bitch. Even if it costs me a spell slot.
You know who you sound like right now to me?
Who?
The Deep from The Boys.
I hate that. Let's move on. You can continue with your description, Dan. I just wanted to make sure that I knew what you were doing.
So her hands glow with this like light green nurturing light as this magical energy flows from her fingertips into Bud. And like as she touches the tip of his like leaf, it's more like a petal that succulents have, but his like stems start to unfurl a little bit, come back to life, and strengthen a little bit and straighten. So it kind of starts pulsing the plant, any plant. And then it kind of just like zhuzhes up a little bit, gets that vibe, gets that boost. He starts looking like he's had a full nap. He starts looking like he's had a fresh shave, the crispy cut.
He would also grow larger, according to the spell. You get to choose a dying or withered plant within touch range. Plant regains health, restoring its color, leaves, and overall vitality, recovers from any damage or neglect, and begins to thrive once more. Alternatively, you can plant a seed, which will grow instantly. So, was Bud pregnant? Let's find out. Unfortunately, he was not. So no new buds come into sprouting, but you notice that he is a tiny bit bigger and more full than he was before. While Leah is doing this in her bunk, underneath her, I imagine is on the top bunk, Jebediah, the dancing green light that's now like bouncing off of the ceiling kind of catches your attention. You immediately jerk your eyes open and reach under your pillow for your gun. But when you remember where you are, things start to calm down a little bit. What does Jeb do immediately upon waking up?
Jebediah looks at the nightstand and retrieves the apple that he put next to, because he was definitely smoking in bed the night before, and just takes a fat ass rip and blows it up, like straight up, so like the clouds like kind of like go around the top bunk and just kind of like hover above.
You're hotboxing Leah
Yeah,
against her will.
yeah. Not against her will. She can move from the top bunk. I'm just.
It's true.
Heat rises, you know. So
she smells it.
Mr. Jeb is definitely awake.
and
And
then
as she like sits there with the cloud, she's like looking at Bud, wondering how he likes it, because she gets the sense that he definitely partakes and enjoys it because of the invasive species that Bramblebush is. He does seem like he's perking, like, and it's not just the magic, bro.
the little cactus is doing the little Final Fantasy cactus dance.
Or like a dashboard hula girl dance.
The Final Fiction dance that has a cactus in it. I don't know. I was trying to figure out a word for Final Fantasy. Final Fiction. Final Reality.
The little arms up, the little rocking side to side.
Mm-hmm. And then he lets out a big bear. And he like puts his hat on and is like getting his things together, and he's gonna walk over to the workbench and start working on some things.
As you get out of your bunk and your big, heavy laden booted feet touch the ground, Squalled, you've been probably awake for a while now, but it's not unlike you to lie and wait until things around you start moving a little bit. As you hear Jeb's heavy boots fall and Leah's little coughs from the top bunk as she's being hotboxed, you smell baked apples? No. Bramblebush. Somebody's smoking. Smells good. What does Squall do when he wakes up?
Well, with that information, obviously he's just gonna walk over where the smell is, almost like he's sleepwalking, and he has his hand out
to Jeb.
And he's just going towards the smoke. He doesn't know where it's coming from or anything. He's just following his nose.
So you just see this fucking 7'4" man just walking around with his hand out, going, just fucking barely eyes open. Jeb, did you take the apple with you? Or is it still on the nightstand?
So it's definitely on the workbench. If I'm already at the workbench, because it's like right around the corner or something,
literally in the same room.
I definitely just walked up to it, puffed, and then like put it down on the workbench and started tinkering with my shit. That I'm
so
doing.
You look over your shoulder and almost like, whoa, as you just see this massive man just with his hand out.
Oh yeah, we're not fighting demons. We're yeah. Mm-hmm. Good morning, Sleeping Beauty.
I smell bush.
Wouldn't be the first time I've heard that. And I just like hand him the apple.
Is this Squald's first time smoking out of an apple?
That's quite delicious. And he walks off with it.
So you guys are downstairs in the bunker, just to refresh your memories. The bunker is one large spacious room. It's like a basement. It's got a workout area. It's got lockers. It's got workbenches. It's got an armory, which you guys have already picked. And it's got like a shower situation. Essentially everything you could possibly need except for food, which is all upstairs in the kitchen. So who would be the first? Go ahead, Dan.
So when Halfhorn walks off with the apple, I would like to try and make a new smoking device from a new item.
Okay, let me just read the language of the spell call food to make sure.
As long as it's like a snack that I've had before.
Yeah, you know what? And I was gonna say like maybe summoning new food might make the old food disappear, which would be hilarious. But it's not in the language anywhere. I would say that the food just like it you can cast as much call food as you want, but because the food is made out of magic, it does deteriorate at a faster, like the apple itself probably very wilted and kind of on its last. Like as Squald's holding it, it's like soft in his hand. But yeah, you can call more food. You can do that if you'd like.
So how I imagine it is I'm still on the top bunk and I'm still holding Bud and chilling, and I just am like peeking over, seeing everything play out. So as Halfhorn walks off, I would like turn and look to Mr. Jeb and be like,
Mr. Jeb, what snack should we choose today for our smoking device?
Oh, you want a different snack? Let me think.
It seems the more the merrier.
You ever smoked out of an eggplant?
Dear God.
I think we both know that I haven't, but I definitely have tasted it before in multiple different forms. There's ratatouille, which is an incredible vegetable-based dish. I've had eggplant parmesan. I don't have a memory of eating a raw eggplant, but it could be worth a try. Let me see what I can do.
Um,
and I'm gonna attempt it.
roll history. If you get above a 13, you will have remembered what an eggplant looks like. You've held one. If you roll up under a 13, it will be summoned sliced and probably with cheese on top.
Do you think that it would be I could potentially be helped like if someone was describing it to me, or does it have to be like sheer based on
No, yeah, no, you have to have eaten. Because remember, your magic source is your cheeks. So it's got to be in the cheeks. The eggplant's got to be in the cheeks if you want to remember.
I felt like I was like, okay, I'm not worried. My history is good, right? I double check. It's like +0. I'm like, oh, I am nervous. And I rolled a 16.
You're a grandmother! But you also do, as your hands kind of come together and the green light kind of starts piecing it together. Squall, by the way, this is the first time you've seen her do this. So, like, you're watching her literally
Am I still even? I thought I walked off.
You did, but you're still down. Like, until you tell me you go upstairs, you're still downstairs. And this all happened within, 30 seconds. So you would just see the bright light because the room is still dark, except for the light that Jeb has on his workbench. Like, the room is still dark. And you see Leah start to shape a long but rather thin eggplant.
He balances the apple between his index finger and his thumb. He takes another hit of it. He just kind of gives a nod of approval, and then he looks at the vegetable. Then he looks down. Then he looks at the vegetable again. He just walks off.
You see him kind of like measuring in the distance, like with his fingers, like
that. I just saw that joke literally just processed right there for Jerry. That was fucking delayed. He was like,
I'm looking up how to turn an eggplant into a pipe real quick, so I can like hopefully make this happen.
Next time I see Jerry go grocery shopping, he comes home with an eggplant. Jerry!
No, it would be a cucumber.
I will say, if you would like to use your tinkering tools instead of your nail to make this pipe, I will give you an additional +2 to your roll.
Yeah, so I have the tinkering tools on me, and I'm already like at the workbench working. So I just kind of like motion Leah to like bring me the eggplant because she's still in her bunk and I'm not walking all the way back over there. I'm hands deep in my guns.
She kind of like scurries down all fours, are in motion. Runs over.
Why did I just
presents it.
imagine the Grudge walk like her like?
I don't know. Kind of yes and hamster. Like the four-way scurry, how they simultaneously move like everything. But because she's a human, it could look like the Grudge. I'm cool with that.
You know how if you look at like a hamster running from behind, it looks like their little butt is like scooting like side to side as they run. I kind of imagine Leah scurrying like that, where like her butt just kind of like shakes,
Like a Rottweiler
involuntarily.
taking his tail.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's accurate to call it a scurry. She's scurrying.
Yeah, she's scurrying. And so I take a sharp tool. I'm just going to describe how I do this real quick. I take a sharp tool and I cut a small bowl into the fat end of the sack end of the eggplant, for lack of a better term.
Depends, it depends on the eggplant.
Fair.
Oh my god.
A bowl big enough to really smoke out of. The apple is good for a purpose and it can work, but we're making a bowl this time. So cut a really big bowl out of the sack end, and then I actually take a long, like hollow tube, like metal tube from the Tinker's kit, maybe like a screwdriver, but like not a screwdriver, but like a little, like a pin, like just
They
a
call
hollow
them dowels, and it's like a long metal rod instead of a
Yeah.
screwdriver tip.
Yeah, like a dowsing rod almost, but like not quite.
I love how you guys are like getting so technical about this fucking bowl. It's kind of crazy.
To hollow out a hollow section where the bowl has culminated, and then I make a little carb with that same little pipe, the dowsing rod thing on the side for a carburetor. And I just load the eggplant up and start smoking it. I'm gonna roll my dice to see if that works.
roll a sleight of hand. You do get advantage because you fucking looked it up and fucking gave a good fucking. Although technically in game, you would have had to have looked it up. You don't have any way to do so right now because your Neuralink is still offline. But because you put so much goddamn effort into it, I'll give you the advantage. Just know for next time that if you're gonna look it up, you gotta look it up in game. Also, because I weirdly know this fact, eggplant parm. When you make eggplant parm, I've never made ratatouille, but when you make eggplant parm, it's almost good to get a little underripe eggplant, because too ripe of an eggplant gets really soggy and falls apart. So because Leah's example was eggplant parm, the eggplant is a little underripe and firm, which
Super
makes
firm.
a good bowl.
Great smoking device. Great.
And clean. We all like hard eggplants here.
You guys could have just saved all this time and just cut a little hole into two holes into a fucking watermelon and called it a day.
As you're smoking your rotten apple.
It's not rotten.
It's getting there.
My first one was a 15. Not bad. My second one was a 19.
Much better.
Better.
Jeb, you craft
Let's go.
Oh wait, that was a +2, right?
You do get a +2, yeah.
Oh, there was a 21.
You craft not only a well-crafted bullhead, but you also notice you're like, oh shit, there's a thimble on the fucking desk, the workbench. You take the thimble, you put it in upside down in the bullhead. You're like, huh, I made a screen. Nice. And you start packing the eggplant. Can you everyone roll me a perception check? Squalled, you are heading towards the stairs?
Yeah.
You can roll with advantage.
15.
I got a 12.
Got an 18.
Cool. Now, everyone who's currently under the effects of Bramblebush, subtract 2 from that number.
I got a 10.
Yeah.
Can I go really quickly to the restroom?
Yeah, go.
I probably
Yeah,
didn't
10.
see what's happening anyways.
No, you fucking. Jay
Can
got
you
10.
take this whole thing out?
What's your adjusted 13 for Squalled? What's your adjusted Leah?
16.
Okay, so Leah would be the only one who really notices this. But as Squalled like reaches the stairs and you go to hit one last of the bramble bush, you hear a voice behind you. A voice that only Leah would really know how that voice got there, as she kind of like looked up from the workbench while Jeb was making the bowl and saw Eve shake her head, stretch, get down off of the top bunk that she was sleeping on, walk over to the stairs, stand directly behind Jeb or behind Squalled, count to 2, and go, "Are you going to move or what? I need coffee." And Squalled, you would be like mid hit. You just be like, "What the?" You look under your arm. There's just this fucking like 5'10"
I threw
Triton
that shit
woman.
out. I'm not gonna lie. I just threw that shit out.
Once it was beat, once it was like,
Mhm.
whatever.
It's like,
You hear a
this isn't
splat
tasting
as it hits the
delightful
floor.
anymore.
Yeah, you hear a splat as it hits the floor, and then you hear the voice behind you.
Excuse me.
I mean, if you're going to be the size of a fucking door, at least open.
Ha
Eve looked
ha.
like she is literally like not even the same person that Jeb and Leah. Like she is so needs her coffee right now that she's just like, and she kind of like pushes past Squalled.
You look like someone with a vice.
She starts walking up the stairs. Eve is like relatively fit, and she's wearing what could be described as pajamas, but it's more like you guys know like the athletic wear, like a sports bra and like a tight short, like that you would wear to like go bike riding. That's kind of what she's wearing, and you see now that you can kind of clearly see the body of. She is fucking stacked. I mean, like 12-pack. Every movement she makes, her muscles kind of like ripple under her skin, and she's covered in scars. Scars are across her abdomen, across her back, across like literally the only thing that like on the back on her back that's not a scar is the barcode that is now tattooed to the back of her neck. As she kind of pushes past you to walk up the stairs, she opens the trapdoor, letting light spill into the basement as she goes, "Anybody else in line for coffee?"
Make that 2.
2,
Make that 3.
3, and what about you, Mr. Halfhorn? Coffee?
No.
Water?
No.
Cool. She closes the trapdoor.
You a milk guy there, Halfhorn?
I'm a not thirsty guy.
Oh, I'm always thirsty, big fella. How you feeling this morning? You all right?
I'm never all right.
Got it. There's probably some things we should fill you in on. Leah, well, the
She's-
very pretty fish woman is upstairs making coffee for me. I've never had a woman make coffee for me in my life other than Ma, so this is interesting.
Well, now would be your time. I've heard that women like bears much more than men.
Oh, coming from a giant edgelord demon man, that brings whole new levels to the fucking metaphor, bro. That brings whole new levels to the fucking metaphor. Nice one, Touche.
God
Touche.
damn. Oh. That one's staying in, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely staying in, bro. Eddie, don't touch
Oh
that.
fuck! Oh shit! Oh god! Oh, I don't even know where to go from that.
Yeah, wait, what were you saying? My
I-
brain got scrambled. You were talking about never having a woman make coffee for you except for your mother.
Yeah, no. Eve showed up last night with some things, and so those tubes that we woke up in, I guess, is part of that. That whole Project Genesis thing that we were told about from the Poly. Apparently, it's much bigger than just Project Genesis.
I figured there's only one reason we survived the burners.
Well, you might want to sit down for this one, because I know I was a little shook when I found out, but I think that, to my understanding, my father is in cahoots with Leah's father, who's possibly also in cahoots with, now hear me out, someone who might be your father.
Okay.
And that might be the reason why we were chosen for all of this. I don't know. The details kind of escape me. Leah, you're the more scientific one here.
I love how you guys are all stoned as shit trying to like exposition. This is
No,
great.
that smoking Bramblebush is literally the only way to get fucking Squad to actually start talking a bunch.
Nice.
It's almost like the specific show where everyone's facing each other and then they're just like passing the eggplant. And Leah has it right now resting on her feet so that it's long. So that she can actually like.
Yo, get on. Okay, we understand.
So as Leah's taking a hit of the new smoking device, she looks up and she's kind of like,
Well, you should probably wait for Eve to fill him in with everything, because she's got the folder, and it's hard to fight picture. But from what it seems like and sounds like, the new mayor of Port Nassau was recognized as a blue tiefling, and his last name is Scarwell. I don't know if that's your dad, but it kind of seems like it is.
So if that's true, that means that three things need to happen. Number one, you two should probably leave if you care for your lives. Number two, my father is probably the one leading your parents, because my father could probably kill them in the snap of a finger. And three, you guys should probably run if you care for your lives.
1 and 3 were the same.
Now, they're half-horn. While I don't disagree that your father's probably a very dangerous man, my father's nothing to be trifled with either, and runs with the same group of people.
You don't understand, Jeb. There's a reason my name is Half-Horn,
Looks at
and he's the
Eggplant.
cause of it. My own father.
So you're saying you're going to take him down and it's going to be messy, so you don't want us to get hurt. That's very nice. That's very considerate.
I'm not
You-
even saying I can take him down. Small
You're
one.
a great guy. Think about it.
I tried, but
That's very kind.
what is wrong with you, little
She's
one?
high as shit. She's smoking out of
He
Eggplant.
kind of just like disregards her for a second and looks at Jeb. I'm serious. If this is the information you heard, and I know you're being honest with me, you guys have been genuine since we came out of the tubes, but if I cannot beat my father, you cannot.
See, there's a lot of things in this life that I cannot do, or you cannot do, or Leah over here cannot do, but there's not a lot of things that a group of people together cannot do. As much as I know that you are not on the same wavelength of togetherness when it comes to the old bear here, for lack of a better term, I think that you alone might not be able to get your father. And then I like pick my gun up off, like I'm done tinkering with my gun that was on the workbench, and I fucking swivel it around my finger a couple of times and put it back in its holster like a Western cowboy. But I got some goddamn aim, son.
The fact you think a bullet will do anything to my father is making me laugh on the inside.
Leah takes another hit and she's like,
Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter what happens to us. There's really bad things that are happening to this moon and to potentially everyone that on it. So
Keep your
I
cares
have
to yourself,
do
little
it.
one.
Oh yeah, and we're running out of oxygen too. That's a thing that's happening. I forgot to say that. The moon's gonna be out of oxygen soon. So
just to take it out of dialogue text real quick.
Sure.
You look at his face and you can tell he doesn't care about any of that.
Shocker.
People die all the time.
I mean,
And if that means us, then so be it. But I have to give it a try to do what I need to do and share this information. If that means dealing with that, that's part of it.
yeah, because no matter what the cause is, we gonna get found or we gonna find them. Something's gonna and something big's happening.
We have
Just
to
letting
try.
you know. We all we gonna do this thing.
The trapdoor opens, spilling light into the basement one more time as Eve comes down the stairs with 2 cups of coffee in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. As she walks in and hands the cups to Jeb and Leah, as she walks in the middle of all of you, looks at Squalled. Don't mind them. They're bleeding hearts, so to speak. Here's the information you actually care about. And she hands you a folder. You open it. The first page you see the fucking back of a Ursar man you could give a fuck less. But who he's talking to, the blue eyes, the white fur, the spots.
Immediately that folder is fucking gone.
On fire? Okay. So, are you using call fire? So this is where we can explain to the people what
Yes.
call fire is.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Using call fire here.
Do you want to read it? Or you want me to? I have it up.
I can. So essentially, call fire is a
Cantrip.
It takes but it takes concentration. It's a cantrip that takes concentration, but in this instinct, it's just kind of instant because of his rage. When you cast Call Fire, you cast a gentle, controlled flame envelop in your hands. The flame does not burn you or consume what you hold, unless you intend to ignite it, which in this case I do. The primary function of this spell is to provide you with a source of fire, useful for a variety of reasons, starting a campfire, blah, blah, blah. When Call of Fire is active, any unarmed strikes you perform deal fire damage. That's special to Scald, and it can't be used as a projectile. To summarize that whole wall of text.
It's actually not even just Scald that can do that.
Oh, really?
That's Call Fire, period.
Oh, sick.
But, there are other things Scald can
So in this case, Scald immediately sees a picture of his father, or what he thinks is his father, and without actually concentrating, just due to his pure emotion, he ignites the folder with intent to burn it to ashes, thinking that it's his father.
Okay, real quick. You would not think it's your father, because it's very obviously a tabaxi.
I think it was the blue eyes that triggered you. You're like,
Yes,
oh, blue?
both have-
Fucking kill him.
Yes, but if you remember, the person that killed you.
Yeah. So either way, it's probably going up in flames.
Right. So that was the response was the same, Eddie.
Yeah.
So the information. So Eve looks at the folder and with like an eyebrow raise. Good thing I make copies. Looks at you. So are you in?
Good thing my father does too. He cracks his knuckles.
All right. I'm pretty sure that's as close as a yes as we're going to get out of you. Welcome to the team. Now, to business. She looks at her HUD, which you can always tell when someone's doing that when they lift their finger like an L and then look through their fingers, because that's usually how you activate the HUD. Eve kind of turns. I hope you don't mind. I made your coffees the way that I make my coffee.
I like it black.
She like winces and turns back. Let's go upstairs. The sunlight, it's better.
I just like am chugging the coffee.
It is black with like 20 scoops of sugar in it. It's basically molasses.
So upon inspection, it looked black. So he chugged the whole thing. And then immediately, you ever seen a bear get into a honey pile? And you know when.
No.
So if you ever see a bear like attack like a bee's nest and get into the honey, you'll see like their eyes go like
dilate,
like immediately dilate and go like feral.
Oh God.
I'm not going feral or anything like that.
That was easily the most fucking southern shit I've ever heard in my life.
But they definitely enjoy honey. It's like crack cocaine to them.
You ever seen a bear? No.
I'm gonna tell a very short story. We went on vacation when I was in like 8th grade to the mountains, to a place called Dollywood. We stayed in a cabin, and it's an amusement park, but it's in the mountains. So we stayed in a cabin in the mountains, and we would drive to the amusement park during the day. Well, at the cabin, we woke up one morning to go to the Dollywood, and there was like an 8-foot like grizzly bear outside. Not grizzly bear, because we don't have grizzly bears. There's like a 7 or 8-foot black bear outside. Just in the trash. We like sat there and watched it for a few solid minutes on the deck. It was like 10 feet away from us, just in the garbage. I was behind the door because I was scared.
Come at that dog. Come at that dog. Come at that dog.
Yeah. So it is something that I've actually gotten to experience in real life. Wildlife is crazy.
Fucking crazy. A.
Yeah.
B. A field trip to the woods never would happen.
Dude, when I lived at River, bro, I walked outside, just a normal day at work, and there was just a fucking wolf on the front lawn. That's the first time I've ever seen a wolf.
Yeah.
Just standing
yeah.
Thing.
Nope. That's a
yeah,
nope.
I went right back inside. Yeah.
That's
I
a nope.
said, I don't know if that's a fucking wolf or a dog, but that's a big fucking dog in your front lawn, bro.
That's a nope. Yep, that's a big bag of nope. I'm glad I live where there are no animals. The occasional mountain lion, but we don't live.
No, there's snakes, pigs,
rats. I lived with some rats in River's house.
God damn, the Southern boys. Oh yeah. So anyway, this is all
we're from New
blooper
York.
reel.
Rats is nothing.
This is yeah, rats. Whatever. But this is all blooper reel content. So getting back to
not bad.
now. No, it's perfectly fine. We needed that. I was just saying it out loud for Danny. You guys, now that Jeb has drank his fucking 20 grams of sugar, Leah takes her sip, and Eve is leading you guys upstairs to sit at the table. She doesn't want to stand in the dark fucking bunker and talk. As you I'm assuming you all follow. As you all head upstairs, it's bright in the house, but like in a zenith kind of way. And as you kind of look at the clock that's on the wall, it's almost 1 p.m. You guys had slept in. Now, granted, you went to bed really late. You guys
it's not sleeping in for me.
You guys had slept in pretty deep into the day. So Eve walks to the table where you see the folders. There are more folders with more information just kind of sprawled out on the table. As Eve sits down, if you want answers, Squalt, and you want the head of, I'm sure you want the head of the person who put you down, the best way to get that is with us. And as much as you are a lone wolf, so to speak, I think it's time you run with the pack. You will be compensated, but as long as you work for us, you will follow orders. Do you understand?
What orders?
Basically, while in the field, any outfit member or agent who outranks you, which technically right now, as a new entry, you would be everyone. You follow their orders in the field, what they give. What you do in your personal time, that is what you want to do with it. I'm not going to tell you. No orders there. But when we're on a mission, you must obey orders.
I have conditions.
Well, this wouldn't be a negotiation if you didn't. She points at the chair at the other end of the table.
I don't sit in flammable things.
It's a metal chair, motherfucker. It was last session too, so I'm not just making that up. Like, it actually is metal
He
chair.
takes a seat. First things first. Unlimited supply of bramblebush.
When you say unlimited, I would prefer there.
It means when my fingers are up to smoke, my fingers are filled with bramblebush. Second thing. I want one rank skipped because I don't want to have to listen to orders from the bottom of the barrel scum. I'm much more powerful than them.
Literally just talking about you guys, by the way. Like, that's literally the only people that he could be talking about right now.
And it like cuts to Leah, who's literally thinking,
If I eat a piece of bramblebush, wonder if I could always make it?
And Skull just kind of like look at her. She don't look right. He's pointing at her like, look at her. She don't look right.
Do you say that out loud?
No, she didn't. You could just see her like. Oh.
I'm just thinking about it.
Dear
Damn.
God. Jeb, he is talking about you too when he's saying.
Oh, Jeb doesn't care. Jeb doesn't care. Yeah, he can disrespect me. He can disrespect me in some ways. You know, he can think less of me. But
honestly, Jeb was like, I mean, I wasn't planning on giving him orders anyway.
I feel like as somebody that has been chasing my father for over a decade, I would be qualified to give some orders here and there.
Eve kind of takes a second. Here's the thing. As for Bramblebush, it's not free. Therefore, I cannot promise an unlimited supply. However, I can promise that some of your payment can be diverted to make sure that there's always a constant supply in the safe house.
Agree.
Second, while I can't give you a rank as I am not high enough rank to do so, I can say you do not have to follow orders of any peers. Anyone who is your rank, you are not beholden to follow. I can guarantee that. But if there is someone in the field who outranks you, namely myself, I can promise you any orders I give will only come from logic and sense. The mission is the most important thing. That is all that matters. I am not going to ask you to do anything that you wouldn't otherwise be doing.
You already are, sweetheart.
Don't assume my heart to be sweet. It might be more sour than you think.
Jeb actually is going to go into the kitchen and start working on some breakfast.
The tension just gets cut as Jeb, high as balls, starts going through the fucking cupboard.
He was sitting on the couch, like listening to the conversation. He like scratches his belly button, like he lifts his shirt up and like scratches his belly button, and he's like, "Oh, munchies! I'll be right back." And then he just walks into the kitchen to make some morning breakfast.
So the kitchen is where the table. I imagine like the table's right in the kitchen outside. So you kind of be walking into the scene and looking through the cupboards, but it's just the funniest to imagine, like the silence, the tension as Eve and Scald are having just kind of like who's the alpha war, and then Jeb just being like, ugh. And just like fucking walking completely oblivious. I can imagine that's from maybe his past on the ship with like like I'm sure he's watched people like killing each other on a ship, and he's just like making cereal.
So Jeb has been in this situation before. The captain has been bitching people out in the kitchen in the morning. You didn't do your fucking job. Blah, 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 blah. Fucking tighten this shit up or I'm gonna fucking kill your ass. He's just like in there making cereal, like pouring the milk in the bowl and then the cereal in the bowl afterwards, like a fucking madman.
Crazy person. Then sits there eating it, watching.
Oh.
So then you would turn around. So as far as snacks, there's a synthesizer that requires money, which we all have tried. But there are MREs still in the fridge available to you. If you wanted to make one. So I imagine then MRE is what you would go for.
Yeah, that's the only thing I got. Do we have did the MREs change at all or are they the same
Nope,
one?
they are all the same except for there's no more chili.
And
no more
curry,
chili at all.
and also Squall ate the curry one.
Yeah, but those had multiples. He took all 4 chilies and put them
I'm gonna
into one.
take the leftover of the curry ones, like the 3 leftover ones, and make a big pot of curry for everyone.
Okay, you know I'm gonna make you roll a culinary toolkit check.
And I'm going to beckon for some help. Leah, didn't you say you were good? You can make snacks. You ever made curry? You want to come help make curry today? You want to come help make breakfast? We're gonna have curry for breakfast.
Oh yeah, she's definitely gonna come help. She's currently like her eyes are going back and forth in the tension. She's watching from Halfhorn to Eve and like is experiencing for the first time what happens when you drink coffee at the same time as smoke weed with the sugar. So for her brain that is normally incredibly anxious, smoking Bramblebush relaxes her brain to the point where it's almost functioning the way Bud speaks in a very slow tone. And having the coffee create sort of a buzz to it, it becomes like she's watching the lights dance and she's watching magic and music happen as the two of them are arguing intense.
Can see color, can hear colors and see sounds.
So when Jeb calls her over, she's like,
huh? Oh, coming right up.
She whips out her culinary tools to go help him out.
So when she gets there, Jeb just puts her on his shoulders like Ratatouille.
Let's go.
And it's just like, okay, we're going to make some curry.
They're passing the smoking device back and forth in between like stirring stuff or
like
adding seasoning.
Bro, the tension between, because this is, they just said the line that caused the tension. So like this all happens within a couple seconds. And Eve can't even like hold the face because in her vision, because Scald can't, you're just hearing this nonsense go on behind you. Eve's actively watching it happen. And she's just like, I can understand why you wouldn't want your fate in the hands of some of the people here. Listen, Scald. If you promise to help us with a mission, we promise to help you with yours. Now, these two might not have a lot to offer yet, but the outfit has friends in high places. We can help you. Will you help us? She holds out a hand to shake.
He grabs her hand, her like arm, kind of like brotherhood shake, and she can feel the fucking heat off his arm, and it's intimidating. And he says, "I'll work with you. I don't work for anyone."
As her skin starts to sizzle, her face doesn't change an inch.
It's not like burning her, but it's like when you go to take a hot shower.
She's
and
a Triton,
when you turn that shit all the way up.
She's a Triton. It wouldn't even be her skin sizzling. It's just the moisture on her skin as a Triton. But you do notice that she doesn't flinch, which I feel like in Squald's mind might garner just a little bit. Like the respect meter went up 2 points.
The thing is that he's already one step ahead. He already assumes that she's a fucking tough bitch.
Yes. Yes,
so
but
he's always respected her highly in that regard.
She's trying to display is that you can trust her at least as far as she's
Yeah,
willing.
he picks up on it. Yeah.
She's willing to do what she needs to do to keep you around. And she goes, good. Our doctor is almost here. We have an appointment. So make sure you eat. Make sure you're comfortable. And for the love of God, clean this place up. Because Cutter is a interesting character. She stands up and starts like cleaning the files off the desk. She goes, I will be back. 20 minutes tops.
Scald sits on the bed and immediately looks at Leah.
Couch? Because you're upstairs now.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And then just immediately looks at Leah when she says stuff about cleaning.
What the fuck?
It depends on how you grow up, bro.
Yeah, I guess, man. I guess. Hey, it's Leah's prerogative whether she acknowledges or doesn't.
So Leah right now is in the kitchen cooking with Jebediah, maybe like 7 feet in the air.
Just don't forget to clean up when you're done.
So as he's like calling this stuff out over there, she's like nodding. Eve had like yelled out her thing, I have to leave, like make sure you clean up, this doctor is weird. She's like, before he had even said that, mentally been like,
It's very important to have a clean space, especially for any sort of medical procedure. And I want to make sure that he's got a nice sanitized environment, which is what I would want.
and then he's like, make sure you clean up.
It's like, planning on it. Planning on it. No problem.
All right, I need a dual survival rolls from Jeb and Leah to see how this curry comes out.
Ooh. It's the best curry we've ever made. It's the
That's
best
what-
curry we've ever made. No!
Yeah, that's
It's a 23!
What did
Let's
Leah get?
go.
Yeah, what did Leah get?
It's rolling now.
I'm trying to figure out if I get a +2 bonus because I think I'm really good at it. But
Cooking?
You said survival.
Yes.
You did say survival.
But, there's not a cooking skill, so you're using your survival skill.
Yeah,
to
I'm
cook.
proficient at. So that I think I have a +2 proficiency bonus
At using culinary tools?
at survival rolls.
No. Survival roll, your proficiency is already baked into the number you see. So +4, you are proficient already. But then you
Word.
would get an additional proficiency bonus, so +2, for using the culinary toolkit, which you are proficient in using. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah! So it would be a grand total of +6.
So you're essentially using your expertise, like you're essentially using your proficiency in survival and your proficiency in a culinary toolkit to create a faux expertise in cooking.
Let's go.
GM,
21. Can you
can you do something for me?
me?
And not only because they are both high, but because they are close. The culinary vision is in sync. The spices, the consistency, the curry starts to smell lightly sweet with a little bit of spice. The bay leaf kind of giving that extra aura, the extra umami smell as you guys are taking it in. Even Scald, who's literally ate basically freeze-dried curry last night, can admit it smells pretty damn good as it fills the house. Do you guys all eat?
Just scarf it up.
Scald silently just comes over with a bowl, doesn't say anything, does the cool guy like hand in pocket, look down at ground, and Jeb's just like fills up the bowl.
Yeah. So, funny enough, Jeb takes the same bowl that he had the chili in and washes it, and then just uses the same bowl. Something that he is very privy to, something that he does a lot.
Okay.
At his home in Ma's Bar, because Ma's Bar, while it is a tavern, doesn't have a lot of extra stuff for like personal use. So he just like takes the bowl that he left it in the kitchen in the sink last night. He wasn't washing dishes last night, and he's like, ah, fuck.
Yep.
And then he washes the bowl, doesn't even look for another one, and just like goes to fill his bowl up with curry. Fills up both Leah and Squald's bowl if they were waiting on him. And he proceeds to like put like everything that we used in the sink, nice and clean. Mm-hmm.
So my plan, is I wanted to use the chili as a chaser. So I want to try and see if I can eat a nugget of bramblebush and then be able to make them as a snack. But if it tastes gross, I want to be able to eat right into the chili. So it's almost like the first thing I do
Curry
is the bramblebush. Do you want me to roll to see if that's something, or do you want me to attempt to? No. Okay. So
You're
she
just-
really eats it, and it's weird. It's like it has such a weird texture to it because it's basically sticks, and then it's got like a squishy texture. Everything's
It's
kind of like
sticky.
sticking to her teeth. Oh
tastes-
God!
Horrible, like acid in your mouth. It's fucking bad.
She's like chewing it on one side. Her cheek is all bulged. She's just trying to make it go down. It's disgusting. And then she like puts a couple spoonfuls in. All the flavors start to play. It kind of becomes an herbaceous thing going because this chili's so good. And then she tears into it.
So as you're eating, normally when you eat food, your cheek magic always makes you constantly aware of the slight bit of magical properties within the food that you're eating. The bramblebush, however, as you're eating it, does not seem like it's being absorbed in the same way. So darn, it's not working yet. But as the GM, because I love where your head's at with this, I'll give you a little nugget, a little thing. You might think it's because bramblebush is not food. There's a little nugget for you.
That makes sense. But like, if it was in a butter and then a cookie was eaten,
I didn't say that. You know,
thought
I
it.
didn't. Yep. You did.
And
Next time.
Next time, those culinary tools will be making an appearance.
Are we making dessert, Leah?
As you guys finish your food, I'm literally going to give you all the chance here. If you can tell me all of the messes that you've made in this house since last night that need to be cleaned, I will say you've cleaned them. But if you can't name them all, then you will forget some. I have 5 that I remember.
Not a single one.
So there's definitely a dent in the table that I don't think can be fixed.
Yes.
There's definitely a bunch of dishes that need to be cleaned. There's definitely like MRE packs and things that need to be thrown away. Probably leftover like bramblebush on the tray the makeshift tray that we had in the last session is probably still sitting there.
3.
The bowls from the chili the night before, if they're not already. Okay.
The expired apple on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
I was on the
downstairs.
ground. I threw it in the trash.
I think it's downstairs anyway.
The eggplant possibly is definitely floating around somewhere up here.
I think you guys are still holding it.
Yeah. We went. There was like a storage room, so I don't know if like going through that storage room made a mess or going into that storage room, but like.
What about
furniture?
What about ashes from the burnt manila folder?
Downstairs also.
Damn it.
Give you one more guess. There's
We have
2
two
things.
more that we're missing.
Yep. There's 2 things, and they're both not outwardly obvious. I'll give you a clue. Think about who you are.
As a type of like a hint-ish thing, could I do a perception check or like an insight check?
There you go. Yes.
I'm a
Give
raw
me
dog it. Definitely bear hair around the apartment that was from shedding.
that is 3 or 4. I'm sorry.
Leah
One
can
more.
try to get the last.
Yeah, roll for it.
The burnt file on the floor.
It's downstairs.
I rolled a 17.
17. As you look around, you can't you're like, I'm sure we got everything. Then you look at the hallway and you notice that it was raining last night. And somebody opened the door. And you look and there's slightly gross marks on the floor from the rain coming in and the footsteps. Also the footsteps from you guys when you first entered the house, also on the floor. So none of you took your shoes off, if I remember correctly.
My clothes never come off. I'm only a who man. I can't be naked. That would be very inappropriate for everyone involved. I'm
So
a grower, not a shower.
as Jeb and smoking an eggplant. As Jeb and Leah clean the apartment, 20 minutes go by, and you hear the sweep. Welcome, Eve, as the door opens, and you hear a voice. I just mean if people can make sure that the environment is sterile and the door opens and you see Eve walk in, and behind her, standing at 5'2", wearing what looks like a futuristic sci-fi kind of like a doctor's outfit. So he still has some industrial parts like belts and buckles, but for the most part, it is a clean black and green just outfit. But the thing that stands out the most is that this man is completely covered in what can only be described as a body condom. Complete latex, all rubber all over him, including his face. And he's kind of walks in, and you see there's a little bit of blood on it. I'm sorry for being late. I had to attend to some things across town. And he walks in, and before he walks in the door, counts to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he does it again, and again, and again, and again. And then he walks through the threshold and starts looking around immediately. I just saying, if you're going to live like animal. Looks around. Oh. It appears this safe house is in much better repair than the other one. And he just pulls at the body condom and just goes sucks off of him and turns into a small little glob that he disposes of in his little belt. Well, I should introduce myself. He walks to the front. Hello. My name is Dr. Anolis, or you can call me Cutter. I'm here as a favor to my friend Polly B, and I'm here to do some neural resets, is what I was told. He looks at
Sounds
you guys.
about right.
Oh, you are quite large. You are quite
Oh,
large.
you
Man.
know my friend Polly. How's it going?
Oh, it's going kind of not great. I'm late. I'm doing this for a favor, but I had to go another favor, and it's not great. But if we work quickly, we can get through this lickety split, because I don't need to perform open brain surgery on any of you, right? Looks at Eve. Eve just kind of looks at him, just shakes her head no. What? He's no, Cutter, just resets. Did you cut someone's brain open? Oh, no. Okay, where would you like to do this? Looks pretty sterile up here. If you want to do it right here, we could do it right here. Eve sits down at the table. Don't worry, everyone. Cutter's the best there is. He used to be a biotech on the mainland before. And Cutter just goes, before stuff. And you literally just see his tongue come out as he licks one of his eyeballs. Now, remember, I didn't really give a full visual description. He is a reptis, which is essentially our version of lizard folk. And he is about 5 foot tall, has bright green, scaly skin. And he is like the fucking personification of the word neurotic, as he's very jerky. A lot of his movements move very quickly as his head moves back and forth. And every so often, even though he's wearing goggles, his tongue will come out and just like lick his eyeball and then go back into his mouth. Because like when he blinks, only one of his eyes blinks until he licks the other one. And then it'll blink for a second.
Can I do a check to try and get an idea of what he might like be calmed down by?
You can give me an insight check. Maybe you can find out what's making him nervous.
Yeah.
I just continue to light the bramble bush and sit down at a chair.
No smoking in the sterile environment. Are you out of your mind?
Oh, my apologies, doctor. I was just trying to relax a little bit. Seems like we could all relax a little bit, you know. You don't have any pain meds or anything, right?
Is he asking me for drugs? Looks at Eve, and Eve just kind of looks at Cutter, just like she like kind of gives her the symbol for like don't give him any drugs. No, it's just like all right. What'd you get for your insight, Leah?
I rolled a 17.
What the fuck? You guys are rolling. With what I just rolled to determine how anxious Anolis is, the only really possible answer I can give you is nothing. This man is walking anxiety. He does not look like he does calm down. As his fingers start like touching together, and you notice on one of his hands, on his right hand, the tips of his fingers all have tiny little mechanical, almost like hands. So coming off the tips of his fingers are like these little tiny mechanical hands. And he's just like touching them together with his fingers nervously.
Well, Mr. Biotech, it seems like the only thing that will help you in this situation is to get right to it. Because once your mission is complete, I'm sure it'll feel a whole lot better to get back on with your good times in Poly B. So let me know what you need to do, and we'll get this process started.
Well, thank you. I do have to. I have a clinic that I run. But besides the point, this is all very costly. But Poly B assured me that I would be compensated. Eve kind of gives him the nod. You will. Okay, very good. He reaches in and he pulls out. You guys know what a SATA drive is? 2 nods, Danielle. Do you know what a SATA? Okay. Do you know what a hard drive looks like when it's not in a computer?
I know what a floppy disk. Oh wait, a hard drive. Yes, I do.
You almost said floppy disk. That we just all got so old so fast.
Bringing it way by 8.
I'm sorry. One more. What did you say? Yes to that? Okay. So essentially, a SATA drive is what a hard drive looks like, but it is very thin and very small. So maybe 3 inches long, and then like width is even less.
You don't even put it in your computer. You just kind of like lay it on your motherboard.
I mean, depending on your configuration, but yeah.
Well, back in the day, most of them.
So it's very small, essentially hard drive that has a little wire hanging off of it, and on the end of the wire, everybody who has a neural implant, which is literally everybody, you have a port. So you can see the port on everyone except for Jeb, because obviously he's got some hair there. But you can see the port on your skin. You know those little tiny dots on like a disk drive that you used to put a paperclip in to open the disk drive manually? Or like when you change your SIM card on a phone, you have those on your neck. So essentially, he pulls out these SATA drives that plug directly into your brain, is the best way to explain. And he starts, I'm sorry, I had some made for you already earlier, but I had an emergency that required that I use them. So unfortunately, you're going to have to go with what I had left in the SATA. But luckily, I found identities that are all matching your correct racial features. Eve is just like, we almost weren't matching. Cutter. And he's like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, who would like to go first?
Let's get it over with.
Very well. He walks over to Squalled, and as he like goes to like reach up, you notice he's like way too short to get anywhere up to your neck.
Yeah, I like sit down, bend over.
Yeah, he climbs on the table to able to access, and you see his little hands like. He goes, oh, okay. Do I have your consent to do this?
Yes, do it.
Okay. Well, jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he pushes one of his tiny little mechanical fingers into the port on your neck, which opens up the port to your neural links. And he goes, okay, yeah, Zarian, okay, plugs it in. Okay, very good. You are, looks at the SATA drive. Zarian is the name on this drive. It's not going to change your real name. It's just kind of like a secret identity.
Just call me Z.
Sure. Whatever you want. He gets down. He walks over to Jeb. Do I have your consent?
Yeah.
Okay. He reaches in and he starts like searching through your hair. Finally finds it. Plugs it in. Looks at the SATA drive. You are Borin Ironpaw? It's a weird name. Okay.
I'm nothing but a who man, young person. Cutter. Yeah.
He licks his eyeball and looks you in the eyes. Just goes, I do not have the capacity to understand if you're joking or are mentally ill, but I'm going to ignore that so I can move on. And he walks over to Leah, who he has to hop off the table to be able to fucking. Excuse me, young miss. Do I have your consent?
You have my consent.
Okay. Plugs it in. You are Mara. Congratulations. He walks over to Eve, who already unplugged her own port and like took the SATA drive, plugged it in. Are you sure these are clean, Cutter? I don't want someone with a record. These were all what I had left, but they all should be clean. No criminal records. So if any of you had any standing criminal records, congratulations, you're free. I hope you didn't though, because that would be scary.
Wait. You're and this is the first time Jeb has, like, in years, had an identity that was not considered scum or criminal. And so he's like just overtaken with emotion. And before he's even finished with Eve, he just like picks up this lizard guy in a bear hug.
Oh no!
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you please put me down? It's so gross. Oh my god!
Calm down, Bear Man. We're gonna get all those warrants back within a mission.
As you drop him, he's just got bear hair hanging from him, and he just looks like
so much.
Oh my god! This is the worst day ever. Okay. And
this is the best day ever.
You just see Eve pick him up and just give him like a slap across the face. Get it together, Cutter. We need to finish the procedure. Oh, right. Okay.
Sorry, Eve. That was a lot to take in. I'm a free man. I'm a free man. We're drinking tonight, boys. And he's just like so happy.
Oh, very well. He sits down and starts typing on his computer. Okay. Borin Ironclaw? Iron Paw. Borin Iron Paw?
Yeah.
Okay. Zarya Night Flame?
Call me Z.
Okay. Mara Dusk Whisper?
Present.
Okay, and then yes, Narissa Tidecaller. Did you use a generator to make these names? They're all very racist. I didn't have a lot of time. Sorry. And you don't have to actually use these names. Just remember that if you get scanned by the authorities or at any ID checkpoints, you will all come up under these names, and you all are from the 3rd level according to the system now. Yeah. Congratulations. And welcome back to reality. And he presses a button on his keyboard, and all 3 of you feel a massive jolt of electricity spike through your brain. It feels like your brain lights on fire for a flash
What
of a
was my name?
second.
It was Zarian Knight something?
Night Flame. Again, this the only time you're ever going to need to say these names is when you're being questioned by the authorities. And make sure you share when we have our first feast. Make sure you share with Friday Group, because Friday Group got the names that I was originally going to give you guys.
So it's funny because I'm actually just gonna go by Borin Iron Paw from now on. Jebediah is fully dead to Jebediah.
That's crazy, A, and B, I figured Iron Paw would be really close to Iron Jaw, which would make you uncomfortable.
It makes him very uncomfortable, but at the same time, he's like so happy to be free. He'll probably never go by it ever, but like he's like so excited at the I'm a free man.
So yeah, your excitement gets cut in half by the searing red hot pain that's shooting through your brain. I'd like you all to imagine the sizzling that's going on in your cranial cavity as your fluid that houses your brain is sparking like grease from a bacon cookout. And everything goes dark. And that is where I'm going to end this session. Thank you for listening to We Together. Find all of our links on our link tree or join our amazing Discord community at We Together Gaming to chat about the story, share your thoughts, and hang out with the cast and GM. If you'd like to support us, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/We Together Gaming. You'll get exclusive access to our behind-the-scenes podcast where we talk about our favorite moments, dive into character work, and have long-form discussions about the story every week. If you're all caught up and looking for more, check out the actual play podcast Hapless Heroes, now in its 2nd season, featuring me, your GM, as a player. Available on all streaming services. A quick thank you to our top-tier patrons: GxLobes, BrenDaniel, aka Naturally Noted, That Guy Jake, and my Momma. Your support means the world to us. Until next time, stay adventurous, and remember, whatever we do it better together.